Hey there, and welcome back to Factorio Tightening the Belt Megabase Guide. I'm Xterminator, and thank you for joining me. It has been a while since we've been here, a couple weeks, I think. And I had people asking if the series had ended. Definitely not. It just was on hold while we focus on Factorio, but we are pretty much done with that. We accomplished our goal of 60k a minute, and I'm going to do like a last tour video of it, but not today, obviously. So we're back here, and I've actually gained a lot of awesome new inspiration from Factorio because there were some very, very good builders who were involved in that, and specifically belt builders. And I saw and participated in many good belt builds for late game, which is what we're obviously trying to accomplish here. So I have some newfound inspiration. I have a blueprint which I've taken from Factorio that maybe we can either use or modify ourselves for green circuits, because I was struggling pretty hard last time with the green circuits. And we're going to go ahead and just tear this up we have here because I don't like it. And also I want to mess around with a potential lab setup today as well. We are cranking away on Mining Prod 32. It is going a bit slow, but we are all caught up on packs. It's just our labs are a bit slow. So we need some different possibilities here. So I want to show you this circuit build, because this achieved what I was pretty much trying to achieve on my own last time and just failed. So let's go ahead and build this guy. I'm not sure we're going to have everything. I don't think so. But I want to kind of show you how this works, because this is something I probably wouldn't have thought of myself. Like I said, belts are not my strength, which is why I'm doing this series, to get better at them and to teach you guys at the same time. Man, these bots seem so slow compared to what we were on Factorio. So how this works is, it's pretty ingenious. So we have one copper belt here, and then we have an iron belt here, and then we have another copper belt somewhere, another copper belt here, and another iron belt here. So if we just kind of do our nifty little trick of marking these here, and here. So this one is going to be copper, like that, and then this one is going to be iron. Okay, so excuse me. So this guy comes undergrounds here, here. This is used for like extending the build more long ways, right? Our main iron belt right here just goes in, you grab iron, and then copper goes in here. And this is where I was having trouble, because I was like, how do I fit all these belts and stuff in here? Now, one problem with this build, though, is one thing I was trying to avoid is, well, actually, maybe not. I was going to say the spacing of these beacons would mean that they're not all hit, but they actually are because of these inserters in between here. But looks like I'm actually mistaken. I would think that with these inserters, the spacing of the beacons would be off. But no, this is actually a beacon all the way. That's actually interesting, because that's why originally I had done like this type of design to not have this space. I'm not actually sure this is working, because normally when you put a space between them, well, actually, yeah, normally when you put a space between them, it throws out the thing, but maybe not. Okay, so this is actually even more cool than I thought. Okay, so this directly inserts here. Always want to do direct insertion for the cable at this speed. And then this is a really cool way of doing this, is they output onto here, and then also output onto here. And this, I don't think this is actually needed. No, it is. Yeah, it is. Sorry, because otherwise this would make a curve. So that's there. So this one is going to output on this close side, like down here where my mouse is. And then this guy unloads here, and this side loads onto that other side. And that's how you can get the double loaded thing. And again, same thing here, inserting onto the underground, which works the same way, is right here. And then this one merges, and so on and so forth. And then these actually continue on if you want to do even longer. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this is a full blue belt. I think it is, because I calculated with full 8 beacons you needed like 3 machines. And I'm noticing there's this space here, and I bet you that is what's allowing this to stay the same. Out of curiosity, if we get rid of this, I bet you that would throw it off. Actually, not really. Why is that power? Why was that power pole there? These are all hit by 12 sources. I'm actually a little bit confused as to why. Oh, I see, I think. Okay, very, very smart way of doing this. Major props to who made this on the Factorio server. I wanted to come up with my own build, but you know, sometimes that's just not always going to be the case. But this is a really, really great green circuit build. So we finished this mining productivity. Bot speed, how much is that? That's only 2,000. That's actually cheaper. I would like another bot speed. So let's work on some labs now. And we are still making modules, down here. We're focusing on prod, but we're up to almost 300, and then the speeds have stopped because I capped them at 300. But I saw some very, very good lab builds as well. So I don't think we were actually making labs anywhere in here. My little mall is like so pathetic, man. We should actually make labs. Let's see. Labs are going to require a transport belt, which is a bit interesting. I do have transport belt in the network. I think we will bot that in. And then gears. So actually, yeah, let's just make some labs right here. So we're just going to kind of do like the same type of deal that we did here. This guy can come over like that, and then this one can come down like that, and then these can grab. We'll give them a. That's not a requester. That is a provider. We will need one of these, but not there. Let's do that, and then that, and we'll just request in some belts. Again, I'm using bots a little bit like for the mall, but I'm not doing like full on belt build or bot builds. Is just to kind of clear that up for clarification. Let's just request like 50. I think they take 10 a piece, 4 piece, close enough. And then we'll power that on. And this guy will just cap here at like 20 labs for now. Let's say 50. Let's do it. 50. Okay. He is in the network, so that should get those being made once we can get some belt delivered, which is in the network, I believe. Should be. Oh, that's a buffer chest. So what we need to do is we need to go up here and set this requester to request from buffers. So when you go in, there's this little checkbox here. If we do that, now they'll bring from that buffer chest. They wouldn't obviously otherwise. So that's a quick note. Okay, so for labs, we have some to play with. And you can do better beaconing, because here these are only hit by the one side of beacons. You can do some very smart belt weaving. Which I'm gonna build this vertically because my brain is working better that way today. Theoretically, we should still be able to stack them like that. And we essentially need now, at this point, well, we need, well, technically, we need 3 belts, pretty much, is what we need. Which should certainly be doable. I mean, you can do a much better build than this. Red belt, I'm not sure we're quite on that yet, but or blue belt. We'll do blue belt, though, for future expansion. So this may actually be a lot simpler than I thought, because you should be able to... maybe not. Now, we could space these out. We could space them out and leave room, but well, yeah, we're almost going to have to. Actually, yeah, what if we did... Because the pass-through thing, I want to try to avoid the pass-through thing because, like, at higher scales, it doesn't work that well, because what happens is, like, it's constantly spent passing packs through it that, like, it's never actually doing research. So that's why we don't want to do that. So if we go, like... See, I think... I'm trying to remember the one from Factorio. It was a really great build by JD Plays. That I now just don't remember. Because I think if we do this, the beacons are going to be all screwed up. Yeah, because this is hit by 6, and then you throw 8. Yeah, see, that kind of goofs stuff up. We could do something like this, potentially. Now, these only take 2 modules, so... Actually, maybe... If we do, actually, some sort of spacing... like this one did, that could actually work. So these 2 are hit by 8. That one actually does still hit that, so we would want to leave that there, I think. Excuse me, and then... Although, maybe not. Okay, let's actually... I think something like that maybe would work. It seems like counterintuitive, right, to have like more space, but... Oh, but then that one's only hit by 6. Whoops. Okay, so... Yeah, because then it doesn't get hit by that one. Yeah, the way I have these spaces... Because what I was thinking, having a belt like come through here or something, but that's not actually going to work. We could do some sort... But actually, I think... Actually, I think the ones... I think the other ones were actually 12 beacon. And this is an interesting point. When it comes to belts, unless you need to do direct insertion like here, 12 beacons are actually typically better for belt builds than they are for bot builds. Because 12 beacons obviously means the things are going to be faster, they're going to be hit by more beacons. It allows a little more flexibility with where you can run your belts, and it makes the builds bigger, but for belts it doesn't matter as much. For bots, you don't want huge, like your builds to be bigger physically, because that means more bot travel. Speaking of bot travel, we just got that. So to do a 12 beacon build, it's pretty simple. If I can remember here, you just do this, leave a space there. You essentially are just leaving a space in each thing so that it lines up properly. And then that is hit by 12. You can see there are 12 effect sources, and then if I put modules in, that would be 14. Obviously, for these, it would be 16 because they can fit 4 modules. But this allows far more flexibility with where we can run belts, because we can have belts here, here, and here. And that's actually like all we need. That is all we need. See, so it's super simple. You know, because we have one here, one here, one here, and then this would actually be an underground. It would pass like under, and then over to the next one, so on and so forth. I will use stack inserters for this. So we're going to do that and that. It doesn't really matter where I end this. I actually want to take advantage of the full length if possible. Although that may mess up the tiling, we'll have to see. And then this obviously will have to underground 2, which can go like that. This one will just, yeah. See, it can't actually go, it can't end up here, because if it ends up here, well, no, it actually should be able to end up there. That should be fine. Yeah, that should work. That should work fine. Because if we throw some modules in here, I'm actually going to need some more. Let's go grab those. I thought I had more. Do I have my rockets on auto launch at this point? I don't recall having that much space science built up. I may have it on auto launch. I do indeed. And these guys are not quite keeping up, because they don't have any speed modules. And we don't have any speed modules because we don't have any red circuits, which is... Okay, now I'm actually remembering the problem, which is no green circuits. Which honestly is just like a build problem, I guess. Right. Okay, so that's a bit of an issue. A little bit low on the blue science here too, which is probably due to red circuits. Not actually. Actually due to miners. So this is an interesting bottleneck, which is due to greens. So in the end, it's essentially a green circuit problem, which we could start throwing some beacon green circuits, but it throws off our smelting ratios up there too, so we would need some of those beacon smelters. Hence why we're building up all the modules. But we are close to replacing all that stuff, which is awesome. So there's that. I do have plenty of Prod 3s on me. And I just want to get this like a tileable design here so we can see what can be done with it. But yeah, so this is why 12 beacons a lot of times for belts are actually better unless you need to do direct insertion. If you need to do direct insertion, it doesn't really work, obviously, because you can see, you know, this big gap in here. You can move these like in if you want, but that still doesn't fix the problem because you can't have something like right here. So that is kind of an issue. All right, so we have that. We have that. Some power. We could actually use just one substation. Unfortunately, very frustratingly, it doesn't center, which is going to drive me nuts, but that's close enough. So if we do that, and then we clear, we don't need this anymore. Could have just shift-clicked it or whatever to clear. I always forget that. So what we need to find out is if this is tileable, and it is in fact tileable. Actually, perfectly. You can see there, boom, all the undergrounds line up perfectly-ish, not really. The main reason they don't is because of how this initial one had to go. So actually, that should make it tileable. Perfect. Boom. So then you would just stamp this along. I need to figure out, the labs are a bit harder to calculate because you have to factor in your like researched lab speed too to calculate this out. So I'm not entirely sure because I don't think this speed here, I don't believe actually shows. Oh no, actually it does, 250%. Okay, so you could actually probably could calculate this out, maybe. But it also depends on the research too, because some of these researches take longer. But what I need to figure out is like how many labs a blue belt or half a blue belt of each pack can take, because you know we're sharing the belt half and half. So I need to calculate that out and see how long of a chain we can make this. But I think that's going to be what we replace this guy with. And then I need to come up with a beaconed red circuit build. But after that, we can start replacing this stuff out. We can start replacing things or even just expanding, just having another separate unit somewhere. Kind of like this, making red circuits, like maybe down here or something. Using these beacon smelters, which there's probably better designs, but these do work fine. So I'm going to leave these. Using these beacon smelters and then the beacon green circuits we just did, and then I just need a red circuit one as well, because red circuits are our main bottleneck right now. So that's kind of the plan. I'm really glad to be back. I have a ton of new inspiration. It's awesome. I'm really excited. I was getting pretty like frustrated with the belt stuff and kind of not too interested in it. But after seeing all these designs on Factorio, I am like back, fired up, ready to go, and make an awesome base here. So I hope you guys are excited too. I know some people were asking about the series. This hurts my eyes seeing this beacon layout. But yeah, so we are back, guys. I hope you're excited. Leave any thoughts and such down below as always. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.